Happy Halloween. It's me, your darkest nightmare, your most beautiful fantasy. Welcome to Trans Voices of Love and Kindness. This is the famous Halloween edition, and we welcome you all into our little house of horrors, where today we will be talking about time. It's time you got into your chairs with your favorite drinks, with your costumes, and enjoy as we bring to you our show for this week. Without further complications, let's talk business for a moment. Coffee. I don't know how I'm going to drink this, but I have it. It's a Sumatra, a Ruel Badak, and it's just one of the most lovely coffees I've got in the whole world today. This show is brought to you by Ray's Roast, www.raysroast, REYSROAST.com, and go there and order coffee. Simple. Okay, and then the next thing is subscribe, get notified to all the fun that we have here on Trans Voices of Love and Kindness with Regina and company. And so without further ado, let us begin. And who should we bring in first? That lovely lady from upstate New York. Hi, Casey.
Why, good day.
Oh, dear. Get talking, girl. I'm lost here. I forgot to shut something off. There we go. How are you today?
Good day to you all. And this is partially sponsored by Dreams into Reality Comics. We help out with the show. Many different things. The thumbnails that you see, and several. Well, we work hand in hand with Ray's Roast to bring you these wonderful shows. And I will put the link for that into the chat so that we can, so that anybody who wants to take a peek may do so. There is a Halloween bonus strip out today. And welcome. Enjoy the show.
So good to see you.
Good to
Glad
see
you're here today. Let's get Lara in here. Hey, sweetie.
Hello.
Our wandering gypsy girl.
Yes, that's me. I'm your wandering gypsy girl today. I take my my headphones off for a second and show everyone what I did for myself today.
Okay.
Well, look at that.
Yeah. There she is. There she is. And while she's getting it all situated again, let's bring Christy in. Hey, there you are.
Look at
Princess.
you.
Hi, Christy.
Oh, I'm the good witch.
Oh, the good witch.
Yeah,
I'm the free
Glenda.
spirit.
So how did your choir thing go? Was this the way you were dressed up for your choir?
Yeah, I had to wear a mask, but otherwise, and we sang a very spooky song, but it went well. Had to do it twice. Wore a mask for 4 hours, but yeah, it was good. People,
I wore this mask last night for see anything because it pushes my glasses into my face, and so they were like, it was like giving me a headache, and I had to leave. And then this morning I see pictures, and then God, they had a big dinner and whatnot. I missed the whole dinner, and I left at 9:00. My God, it was it was great. It was great. It was fun. And
I can give you the full costume or dress if you want to see it.
Oh, sure.
Okay. All right. Here we
I
go.
want to see.
All
I
right.
want to see.
Oh, sure. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right.
Wow. Yeah. You're looking pretty good.
Oh, thank you.
Looking good. I suppose. Do I have to show the rest of my outfit then too?
Yeah, mine was. I don't know what I was going to say.
Oh dear, you can't do that to us, Christy.
What?
Anyway, okay. Well, hey, what about time? I can't read the comments. Oh my God.
Time.
So Heidi's here. Hi, Heidi. How are you today? Good to see you. Christy, Gracie. Hey, Gracie. How are you doing today? And that looks like about it. Welcome to each and all. So what do you all want to talk about? Time. Probably what we should do is have Casey put one of those things up.
Ah, yes.
And take your pick as to which one. I'm going to remove myself so I can drink coffee for a second. I'm right here, though. Don't you be threatened now.
Everybody in chats.
Yes. Hi, everyone.
Good day. Yeah, that's okay. We're not going to do that then.
We're not doing that?
Nope. I'm just having issues.
Oh, there we go.
All to the side. Oh, yes.
I wanted to.
Can somebody read that?
Time is too slow for those who wait. That's not going to work. Stupid thing. Okay. Time is too slow for those who wait, too swift for those who fear, too long for those who grieve, too short for those who rejoice. But for those who love, time is eternity. And that is by Henry Van Dyke.
So that's pretty cool.
I love that.
I see that my mask isn't going to work today. I can't see.
Well, we all got to see you with the mask on, but it's okay if you take it off. You look like amazing behind that mask too.
Well, do you think it's time? Time is too short for those who wait. So come on, let's jump into this. If we're going to talk about time, I haven't got time for this.
Well, you had time for coffee earlier.
We
have
all the time in the world right now, an hour and a half. We can
my
stretch
God.
the time out a little.
Oh my stars.
What really is time, though? It's different for each. It's perceived differently for each person. Some people have a longer, how do I put that? Some people's definition of time is different from others. They feel like they have all the time to waste, and it's when really we don't. Like, this is our life. This is our one life, and how we use that time is the part that's really going to matter in the end. It is more valuable than money. It's more valuable than it's more valuable than in a way than friendships and relationships. But there's a like a caveat there. Is it's also how you spend it's more of how you spend that time with them than the I don't know. I'm all over the place right now. I
I
am.
get exactly what you're trying to say, is that the best gift that we can give people
Mhm.
is spending time with them in a quality manner. You
Yes.
know, is so like us four friends, you know, this is precious. This is the best thing that we can give to each other, is the time. And this is the only way that we can catch up with the time, with the people in the chat as well. It's like how important it is for all of us, chat room, us four, to connect for this hour and a half, because that means that we're giving of time to each other, and it's important. You know, we have taken that time to spend together because of the love that we have for each other. And so every person that we spend time with out in the world, you know, in the community and in our families, when we give the time to look each other in the eye, when we give the time to play games together, when we give the time to sit and eat a meal together, those are really cherished moments in time.
They are.
You know, and you know, our lifestyle has gotten so busy that to give time is just huge. Does that make
Yeah.
sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. It does
Another
totally.
another good quote that really like pertains to what you all said there is one by William Penn. Time is what we want most, but what we used worst. Like, we are not creatures of very good time management. We see it on a regular basis. I ran out of time for this. I didn't have time for that. Oh dear, you know, time. Um, it's oh geez, I don't really. Time is.
Do we really need to manage time if this moment is the only time we really have? We're always on time. You know, I heard the saying, time is of the essence.
Mhm.
And then I thought, the essence of time is in my heart. And then that felt like an eternity in the moment. And while you were reading your quote, or while Casey was reading that first quote, I thought about it and I wrote down, time is eternity held in a moment. When we're happy, this moment is the most important time we have to share. And that's what came to me.
Yeah.
So I thought about trying to write and do all kinds of timeless thoughts. And then I threw them all out the window. I scribbled on a million pieces of paper over the week while we were trying to come up with ideas. And then I threw them all out and I said, no, I'm just going to be spontaneously in the moment here. And I'm just going to spend time with you all.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Spontaneously in the moment? We've no time for that.
Oh, yes, there is. There's always time for
I'm
that.
I'm just kidding. It just seemed like a good time to jump in there.
Yeah.
Christy, thoughts while you're here before I send you packing? You got to be good, or I'll send you packing.
Well, I like what Ash has been putting out there. One in particular: if you don't take time, it'll take you.
Yes.
But changes by consciousness.
Wow, cool.
And
yeah, an amazing person, my friend Ash.
Yeah, I would just part of what I was thinking once we started rolling on the discussion was it's a series of moments. So, if you try to be in the moment, each one of those is a glimpse, you just have a moment to be there. But, you create moments of hopefully joy, right?
It's like waving your magic
like
wand.
somebody touched on here a minute ago that we have this moment. This is the only thing that we really have. Do we need to manage time? Yeah, we need to manage time because to get to it just, I don't have time to screw around every moment. There's things I need to get done in the course of 24 hours.
Well, are you managing yourself or are you managing time?
Well, I have to manage myself and it kind of takes care of the time. Or, I mean, there has to be some kind of thing. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm kind of speechless. Something needs to be managed in there. And because this moment right now is the important one. Oh, was that the spider that's sucking my brain?
I'm just massaging the brain.
Oh, okay.
Sorry.
Well, we used to have that spider when I was a kid that would like come down and suck your brain out. And that's what happened to me for many, many years. I see that my Simone here has less time we have, the more precious it is.
Hello, Simone.
And that is so true. And it's kind of the point I'm trying to get to is we've got things to do in the course of a day. We need to make sure that we have a roof over our head and that we have food in our refrigerator and that we eat and take time for the family. But, we have to go out and work, some of us, and that takes time. And so I think we need to manage it to a certain extent.
I think we're always trying to make time for all these things you're talking about. So I think we're creators. We create our own time.
We try to be, at least.
Yeah, we're like creators. I love what I'll show you shared. Can you put that one up on the screen?
What one?
Ash?
One about light
for
workers?
those of us who are light workers, we remember that in light there is no passage of time at all. Living in that connection allows each moment to be an eternity.
Ooh, beautiful. Very
That's
nice.
beautiful.
Very nice.
It's like that for me a lot of the time. I'm just right present here in the moment, and I find beauty in the moment. And if that is my, if that's how I use my time and occupy my time looking for beauty in the world, I find it. It's just everywhere. I really don't have a lot of time for all that nonsense about other things that might be negative and stuff. I I'm almost like I transmute that stuff into kindness.
Mhm.
But
But yes,
you know, I mean, you've got the upkeep on your house to take care of. You have to help your daughter. You've got
yeah,
all these outside things to do, and so our our moment in time includes those things.
absolutely. And they become special moments that I'm doing something that I feel are worthwhile
That's
because I
true.
spent time in a good way doing them. And I
Right.
kept a mindfulness about my time and kept it connected with something that fulfills me. No, it's hard. Some people maybe don't feel like they can do that. I remember many moons ago, someone shared once, we don't have to like the job that we're in. We just need to re-evaluate why we're doing it. So it puts a
Mhm.
roof over my head and food in my belly. And after I
Yeah.
thought about it like that, it became something that the time I spent doing was a lot more palatable and it wasn't so difficult. But I remember before that, I hated going to work. All the time I spent there was I wished I was somewhere else. I didn't
Right,
want to be
right.
there.
It kind of gets to the I get to go to work today instead of I have to go to work today.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I understand some of that, you know,
yeah.
but we still have to manage our time to do all of that, you know, because if we don't, if we just go off on tangents, living in the moment, you know, sometimes it'll take you away from the things that you actually love. You know, because I was one who was always chasing that feel good moment. And so often it took me away from the ones who I thought that I loved and families and ended up, you know, without. And so, you know, there has to be that time for connection to each other.
Mhm.
And it's
Yeah.
so easy for some of us to get distracted by the squirrel, so to speak. You know, oh wait, you know, and off we go.
Just
And
going
then
here. Oh
and
wait,
then
go that way. Oh
all of
wait,
a
go this way.
sudden you've lost this. And you know, because it you know, take for example, you know, with all the disease and whatnot that is going around right now, is that person that you really like that is in the next town over that you only get to see occasionally, you know, they could get sick and die next week. And if you don't
Mhm.
talk to them occasionally when they're gone, and it's the same. It could take any of us at any time. And I don't mean to be dark here, but I mean I'm kind of
No,
like a
but you point
sinister
out that
looking person.
life is precious, and that's why we need to make that time to make
But
that
when you're
call.
making that time, you're managing time.
And that's like, yeah, I suppose you are.
So okay,
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
So absolutely. So we need to manage that time so that we can share it with those that we love. Because that's the important. Those are the moments when we are in love. And I don't mean the romantic kind of love, but I mean like when you're doing things because of love.
Mhm.
Out of love. Yeah.
You know, and that's all we're supposed to be, is loving awareness. And so, you know, some of those things that we need to do, that we get to do to take care of those that we love, That's when those become precious moments. But they're done so that we can spend time with the people that we love.
Mm-hmm.
And we should love everybody. So there you have it.
Well, isn't that maybe we all found ourselves on our own journey, our own path out there doing whatever we were doing, and it brought us together here. And now since we found each other, we make time for sharing that love that you're talking about, or we spend that time. It's a wise investment.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. The toil of work makes music so potent, even if it's whistle while you work, allowing the maintenance of that connection with the times that count.
We have a lot of poets in our midst.
So any of you remember the song Whistle While You Work?
Oh yeah.
I immediately wanted to whistle, but then I remembered you were speaking and I didn't.
Well,
What is it? Who
Don't
sings
ask me
that?
to whistle.
The Seven Dwarfs?
it's a little pitchy there, but
I'm not a good whistler. I don't know how to whistle.
oh my
Try
God.
again.
Anyway, I love
give it
that.
up.
I always like that. I used to whistle that song all the time.
I'm too full of hot air.
Good one, Lara.
So yeah, wow. So there's a lot of comments. There's a lot more people here now than there was, but I can't read. So I've said good morning to Simone and Francie. Hi, Francie. How are you this morning? And Ash, Ash is blushing. Oh, fun. I love that. Who have I missed? Two versions of time affect the human construct of time and the physical construct of time. Whoa, yeah.
Oh, we're going deep now, Ash. Okay, let's go there for just a moment.
In the human construct, if you don't take time, it will take you, but changes by consciousness. And in the physical construct, gravity depends upon that dimension, which with us experiencing gravitational time dilation.
Philosophical she is.
What kind of dilation?
It's just
Gravitational time dilation.
Gravitational, of course.
My mind went straight to a
There's
dilation.
an entity behind you.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Ghosts.
you gotta mute me.
Oh my God. Oh my God. So, oh my stars. I think it's time for the next one, Casey.
Oh, do we have an? Yeah, Casey, you're in charge of all these.
Oh, here we go. How come it didn't come up? There. Oh, my favorite one. Time is a created thing. To say, I don't have time is to say, I don't want to. I love that one. I absolutely love that one. I wonder if it comes out there. It's even bigger. We're all.
It's again, it has to go. It talks about that whole, where you spend your time. We have the time and we manage the time, but where I don't know, I almost kind of see it like a cake or a pie, and like we're giving pieces of our time to, and oh geez, and I lost it.
We create that time. We create that time by choosing it where we're going to
Where we spend it.
for focusing ourselves. We take that time to do that. If we choose not to take that time, what does that leave us with?
Time.
I don't know. Yeah. Empty time?
There is no empty time.
No.
All time's
you've
got
heard-
something in it.
You've heard the expression, the vastness of space or empty space. Is that void of time?
Oh, the emptiness of space?
Yeah.
I don't think there's anything that's devoid of time. I mean, to a certain extent, time is a human construct, but the planet has been around for millions and millions and millions of years. And so if there's no human beings on the planet in the beginning, was there time? Well, time had to pass for things to start changing. So what exactly? There's always time, whether we're here or not.
Then we kind of have to make it into a construct of some kind to rationalize it, to picture it, to kind of understand it. And so we can, I don't know, just these are my random thoughts that are coming into my head right in this point in time.
It's kind of like the tree in the woods, that falls over. If no one is around, does it still make noise when it falls, when it crashes down?
No one will ever know.
Well, there's an interesting concept. If it's not documented, in a sense, if it's not observed or sensed, did it occur? Right. That's the question about the tree in the woods and the sound. But we don't have to be there in that past in order to see those outcomes. We can interpret what we see in the present as an indication of what has happened in the past, like the Big Bang. So I throw some things out there for you.
So did the bird or the little flowers, were they present there when the tree made that sound? Did the wind capture the sound and carry it around the world, only to be heard many, many days later when it got on the other side of the world? Time, I don't know. Time is something, it's an awareness within each of us of our limited
But it still happens.
What we're aware of.
It still happens if we're not there. When we are gone in like, say, 50, 60 years, when everybody that's here right this moment is gone, will time stop? No, it keeps going on.
Yeah.
From a spirit point of view, and for those that feel very connected spiritually,
I mean,
can we hear our ancestors?
In a spirit point of view, I don't think any of us are really qualified to say what the timelessness of that would be. Are we?
I think everybody has the possibility of being spiritual in their own way.
That's not the point I'm trying to make. That's not the point I'm trying to make, is because, I mean, we all got spirits. I completely agree with what you're saying. But what I'm trying to say is because we are in this moment, in this body, we don't know theoretically what happens in the spirit world.
No.
Is it timeless?
Is it only true if science proves that exists?
Well, no, it's not here.
Say that again, Lara.
Is it only true if science proves that it exists? Or is it just that some see things different?
I'm not saying that it doesn't exist. The spirit world certainly exists, but I'm not sure that we, as four human beings sitting right here, can discuss what time is like in the spirit world.
No, I wouldn't profess to know what time is like there.
That's all.
I can only let my imagination create something about that, but do I honestly know?
I rest my case. I rest my case.
Okay, you won me over. But I'm still going to think about spirit and the time that I might imagine there.
Time, dimensionally speaking, governs how the universe works. In time, prior to dimensional time, what counts as time for us may have manifested as a different dimensions, others curled up within. So there you have it. Oh my gosh. And now we've like unleashed, I am not my body, which is so true. But when body kind of thing, then time changes. I think. I don't know. I don't know what is it's just I don't know. When the quietness of mind, bodhi and nirvana happens, time has no real meaning.
Well, you've heard the expression time stood still. That kind of reminds me of it as I read that with you.
Time stood still?
Yeah, and
I saw the movie When Time Stood Still.
Oh, was it a good movie? I don't know if I watched it.
It was like a classic science fiction thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, black and white. I think it was released about 1952, 53.
Oh, yeah.
Right after Roswell.
Down to earth ways of thinking about time. Do we have any thoughts on more relevant in our every living day as we go about? I think you were trying to talk about those things, Regina.
Well, yeah, I really was trying to kind of steer away from the I don't know what the right word is, just our daily time, I mean, the thing is what I want to kind of like stress and come back around to is that we have this moment, but we need to make sure that we have time for those that we love, that we need to have time to take care of ourselves. We need to have these moments in time to reflect on our lives and figure out how we're grateful. We need to have time every day for gratitude. We need to have time every day for just taking care of the spiritual self.
Gratitude.
The constant running that I do a lot of times takes the time away from those reflective moments and whatnot. And so I kind of like to always, and so that's kind of what I wanted this conversation to get to was figure out how time is important in each of our lives and our management and the things that we do with it. Sometimes going and hanging out with the sisters, while it might be important, it might be taking away from our time with our children or whatnot, or because I get busy doing this, it might take away from my time with my daughter, who's very important to me. We have a deal about conversing on Sunday mornings. And so, I have to find a new time to converse with her, and I need to make sure that I make that time, you know. And so time is really important. There's time to have fun and enjoy life. There's time to grieve. There's all these things that
Yeah.
take time, and how do we manage to get those things done?
Maybe another way of looking at it or expressing it is how we value our time and how we pursue those things that we feel we need to make that time for. Like, you're right. I'll prioritize family time, time for my grandchildren, time to be with my partner. I'll prioritize that time, and there'll be times when I'll choose to spend that time with them, those that I love, where I could have been doing something else. And on the flip side of that, I think over my life, all the times I got distracted and forgot about those things, and it hurt when I realized that I had gotten away from spending time on the things that are important, that really matter. You know, we can get so caught up in the world. It's crazy. You get out there and you're being racing around and you're doing all these other things, and then you come home, you say hello, hon, and you sit and you're all worn out and you go to bed, and then you get up in the next day and you do it again, and time just is racing in that situation for me at times, and I need to slow down and remember what's important sometimes, and I have to like pinch myself or give myself a slap and say, come on, Laura, you just like better stop here and pay attention to the ones around you. I can just get so sidetracked so easily, and the world tugs at us. Everywhere in the world seems to want our time. Yeah. We can choose when to give it to them. But that's not an easy lesson to learn. You know, I think a lot of us just go through periods of time where we don't even know that we're wasting it, that we're not fulfilling ourselves, as some of the comments have kind of implied, where we're not being true to ourselves, where we're not acknowledging others in a timely fashion.
Well, yeah, and it gets me back to acknowledging everybody that's in the chat room making great comments over there, and yeah. So I think at some point I'm going to have to take my mask off so I can read again. But yeah, is it time to do that yet, or what? I don't know. What time is it?
To take your mask off? Is that what you're asking?
No, I'm not ready yet.
Casey, does Regina need to unmask herself and reveal herself to us now?
Oh.
Regina,
well, if it's in the way.
Yeah, but it's such a cool mask, and I want to give kudos to my friend Annie Hare for making my mask for me, and this is a custom made mask, and I just said I want something Orville Peckish, and so this is what she came up with. I went and picked out the material, and
nice.
So
I think you've honored it enough now.
What?
You've honored the mask
the opportunity for say that she's like done drag costumes for people, and so she's kind of a noted seamstress around here, and she has an upholstery shop. So thank you, Annie, and she's a good friend of mine.
Mm-hmm.
I like that. So anyway.
Is there time for another quote or a saying of some kind?
Well, let's see here. All who are transgender confront themselves, eventually realizing that it's now time to remove the mask we have worn since infancy.
Yes. Cha-ching.
Amen to that.
You're absolutely right. That day came for me.
And so, like, we've all had masks on for long periods of time, or some of us longer than others. And
I thought about that consciously this morning as I was trying to really put something together. Should I put on a mask or should I just highlight who I am?
so you're just like the wandering gypsy all the time.
I kind of am.
Well, I am like your biggest fantasy most of the time and your darkest nightmare.
Mysterious. Who's that musician, that woman who wears the mask like that, or used to? I don't know if she still does. I think she unmasked herself. I don't remember the name of that musician. So she's a very popular musician, kind of more current in the last few years. This is a woman who wears a mask like that with tassels hanging down. Maybe someone knows in the comments. They know who I'm talking about. Maybe one of them. I'm not all that good with all the new musicians, but I know I've seen that.
Francie, this mask is not suffocating. It's like blurs the hell out of my vision, but it is not suffocating. I love this mask. And it keeps my cleavage from scaring them.
Keeps your cleavage. Well, I'm going to reveal my cleavage a little bit just because it's been hiding behind all this locks of hair, this goldy locks of hair that I've got there. Well, set myself free.
Oh, wow.
Here I am, all of me.
So here's one. The only ownership of my time that I've managed to take is to let go and let God in the moment. There's an interesting.
Let go and let God. I've heard that saying somewhere. Actually, a lot of times.
Yes, let go, let God. Yeah. I love it. Love it.
Miigwech. Thank you, Francie. I needed to hear that just now.
Lynn is in the house. Hi, sweetie. How are you?
In regards to what Ash was saying there, comes another quote that the one that I originally shared in the chat, and I've got it up so that we can share that. Sometimes the door closes not because we failed, but because something bigger than us says this no longer fits our life. So lock the door, shed your tears, and when you're ready, turn around and look for the new door that's opened. It's a sign that you're no longer that person you were. It's time to change who you are. It's going to be okay.
Oh, this one really touches my heart. I really love this one.
And this definitely rings with what Ash was just saying.
Yeah.
About time to remove the mask. A lot of the time, when we're getting so caught up in the everyday everything, we don't always have the chance to stop and focus on ourselves because we're giving all of that time everywhere else. And by the time we're done with that, we're done giving away all our plate is empty, and we're like, well, there's nothing left for me. One of the big things about who we are is we are learning to stop and take some of this time out for us first before we give, because we have to take care of ourselves before we can take care of others. And that's another one of the big important like quotes or something of that nature. But like, lock the door, shed your tears, turn around and look for the new door that's opened. time. It's time to change into who you are. As experience, that's something else that we can sometimes have trouble with, is especially in the concept of finding the time to search for that door. Once we stop and take that time to find the door, we find that everything else can often just kind of fall into place. One thing I noticed personally was once I I came out full time and I started, I got all my documents and stuff together. I noticed a lot of other things in life just kind of started to fall into place, and I had to stop and think about that. Like, this didn't happen before. I was giving the time for everything else, but now that I'm giving myself some time first, I'm finding I have the ability to stop and not categorize. It's when you take and put important things. I can't think of the word. Um, I don't know if it's compartment. Prioritize. Prioritize. Um, you prioritize where you give the rest of that time, because if you were spent giving that time to places where you weren't getting it back in the right way, then you're realizing that that's a waste of time. So w- once we've gone through that door, we're finding that, okay, this was this was a waste of my time. This was a waste of time, and I can do so many different things now because I've reprioritized where I'm giving this time, which also means that you have the ability to give some more time to yourself, give some more time to those who you really care about, and just enjoy the time you have, because that's really what matters the most. It's really what we're doing with that time, because this is all we have.
I I love that, Casey. And you know what? When we hold time for ourselves, we're like watering a flower,
Yes.
you know? And what beauty we can share with others if we water ourselves that way, if we treat ourselves to time that way, you know? And it's not meaningless when we do that. It becomes the gift of time we have to share because we we cared enough about ourselves to take that time and nurture our hearts, our desires, our dreams, our imagination. We let it all flower, and you know, instead of looking like that reading said, you know, that you showed us in this narrow field of vision that we have, and you close that door, it closes, you just can't go there, and you turn around and wow, one or more doors open up. It was always darkest just before the dawn is another saying that comes to me, and it's so true. When one door closed, another one opened, and I could have never imagined it until I saw it, until I turned around and went in the other direction. You know, the direction less traveled.
Mhm.
Nah, I love what you were what you're sharing there. And I really did love that caption you read. It just really resonated with me.
So
Yeah.
we've got another one up here. How come it didn't come up? Oh, there we go.
And Harvey McKay has is on the ball with this one. It's free, but it's priceless, because in our lifetime, that time is finite. We have it to use, we can spend it, but once it's gone, it's gone. So it's really like I was saying, it's really how we use it is what makes the
Well,
difference.
that's pretty cool, isn't it? That really kind of sums it all up, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It really does.
That you can never get it back is the one that really kind of like slaps you across the face. Because, misspent time. I don't know what misspent time is really, because where are we all? Because, I think about misspent time and go ask me about mistakes in my life.
Mm-hmm.
And at this stage of my life, I said I didn't make any mistakes, because each one of those things, those miscues, the things that landed me in jail, for example, the things that happened to me, those are all learning experiences. And without those, I'm not the person that I am today. And I actually like the person that I am today. And so, all that time doing that stuff. So is it misspent time, or is it just a learning experience?
Well, there's no mistakes, only opportunities to grow. And if you look at it that way, then it's not wasted time at all.
Hi, Beeble.
Hello.
Good to see you here today. Hope
Aubrey's
you're
here
enjoying
too.
your Halloween.
Happy Halloween, everyone.
And I want to say hi to Aubrey.
Oh, hi, Aubrey.
Oh.
You made it here. Yay.
Oh, dear.
Sorry to hear that, Aubrey. That kind of sucks.
Yeah, no kidding. Very sorry to hear that. Oh, dear.
Oh.
I have yet to see how even an astral projection to a past event that change of outcomes happen for an astral body moving anything is like trying to push a dump truck with a feather.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Yeah, I imagine so. Oh.
Scary Boo.
Oh.
A rose of another color would be scary, but we're beautiful today.
Always beautiful. Oh, and Dre's is here.
Hi,
Hey,
Dre.
sweetie. Good to see
Hello,
everybody. I am just so happy that you all dropped in for us to chat about time. It's about time you got here. It's about time we said hello. Oh, mercy. It's about time. I love time. I can make quips. It's an old thing. Oh my God. It's time to have breakfast almost as soon as we're done.
It's time for a mid-afternoon brunch here.
Oh my gosh. Well, Did you all like me better with my mask or without?
I think you look better without it because then we get to see your lovely face.
Yeah, and I needed to see your expressions because you have the greatest expressions, Regina.
Oh my stars, you guys!
Yeah,
You're,
there's what
you're
I
just
wanted
trying
to
to butter up the
Oh my
boss.
stars.
Oh dear. Oh God. So anyway, are you frozen, Casey?
I
You might have froze.
I think so. I'm gonna like remove you for a couple minutes. Let you. I see you're moving down there. Oh, we got this. That's probably what the deal is. Is she's doing these things. It didn't come up.
Holy cow, look at it. We've already been talking about time for an hour already. And it doesn't even feel
Oh,
like
dear.
hardly more than a few moments.
We've lost Casey. There
Oh,
she's
there-
moving
she's
again.
back.
But we can't get that thing.
Well, we can be done with the quotes for now.
Yeah.
Or I can just read them.
Just
Yeah, read
them.
that one.
Yeah, that's good.
Just read it.
Michael Altschuler says that the bad news is time flies. The good news is you're the pilot.
Yeah. I like that. That's a good one.
Again, it's what we do
I'm the
with it.
pilot. I can
I
fly.
do like that. Yeah.
I feel like I can fly sometimes. Even when I'm working on the highway surveying in my previous life as a surveyor, I would put my hands out like this sometimes and just walk down the side of the road and imagine myself flying. And then I saw a hawk fly by. I became the hawk in that moment. And I let myself free. I fluttered my wings. And after that time I did that, I often just imagined myself doing it whenever I was feeling a little heavy, and it would lighten the way I feel and time would feel better.
Huh, interesting. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I don't know why that popped into my head, but
Because it
Yeah.
did. Because it was time for it
it
too.
was time for it.
Yeah. So, oh, Jessica Dean is here.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
Halloween ladies.
So
Happy
we
Halloween.
moved to this time so you'd be able to join us easier. It wouldn't be so late at night. I hope it works out. Let me know what you think of the time.
Well, now that I'm dressed up
Any
as
scary stories?
Any scary
Those
stories?
Stories. That's probably what we need. It must be time for a scary story.
Do we have one?
I don't.
Nah.
You don't?
I would have to come up with some weird ass scary
Okay.
story.
Oh,
Since
Aubrey,
it's a time of spirits, and there's a story I heard. Actually, I read a story that's spooky, and there's a legend. So there's this a place I worked once a number of years ago, and we're in that job site along the highway. There's a little river, and there's a campsite there, and there's a whole bunch of cottages there, and it looks quaint. There's a little church, and the person who was the caretaker of that property with those camps, and turns out he was a Boy Scout leader, someone who really loved to nurture children and took an interest in giving them an experience out in the wilderness. And the caption on the nameplate that I saw going into that place shared that he had passed at that 20 years ago. So it was like going into a time time capsule when I entered that property, and I swear I could feel the energy there. And the caption said, his spirit will always remain here. Well, I feel things from spirit. I thought he was there. I was looking around for him, and I swear behind that house by the river, there was a place. I later found out that's where he spent most of his time when he was getting ready for the people that would come there that he would spend time with.
Oh.
It was kind of like his own little sacred space. So I don't know if that's a spooky story, but it's a spirit story.
Uh-huh.
And it's documented in that place by someone who made a commemorative plaque to put there.
Well, here, let's try this one. So where I
Okay.
grew up in the Spokane area, you know, it's kind of inland. It's down in a river. The Spokane River runs through there. And every year at Halloween time, the fogs roll in. It's cold. Everything is thick fog. There's moisture dripping off of everything. And it's just that coolest time. And sometimes through that fog, you can see the full moon up there. And I had this friend, and she would we would drive past the cemetery, and she would say, the walker's up there. And I'd go, what? And she would say, the walker's up there. And I said, well, I don't know if I believe in walkers. Who the hell is a walker? Is it just some person up there? And she says, no. And so there was these creepy little concrete steps that you could walk up into the cemetery. And so like the fog would come in and the full moon would be. So there would be this eerie light as you're walking around the cemetery amongst all these graves, you know, headstones everywhere. And in the old parts, some of those are big. And you know, I'll tell you what, it was spooky up there. You know how kids are when they're walking through graveyards and whatnot, and your mind is running. And back in those days, we always had something else in our mind besides just our own imaginations. There's that drug-induced imagination too, and so you get up there and there's things moving in the dark, and there was this one particular tombstone that's out on this point, and you're up above the fog right then, and you could see the full moon, and there would be all these creatures running around in the dark around you, and it'd be like a Dean Koontz story with little objects flirting on the edge of your vision, you know, and it was just spooky as all get out. I miss those foggy nights, those in the fall and around that time up in the Spokane area. It was just like creepy as all get out, but it was really beautiful in another way too. You know, I mean, in my youth, it was creepy. Now I remember it, and it was really just kind of like this spooky evening that was really cool.
Things that go bump in the night.
Things that go bumping.
Yeah, it reminds me of sitting around the campfire and listening to my dad or my uncle tell stories about the dangers out there just past the light.
I think you're absolutely right, Zephyr. Thank you. There was a friend of mine. He was like a history keeper for the tribe that I worked for, and he always liked me telling stories around the campfire when
Yeah, and I think some of the chat members agree with that. You would make a great campfire storyteller. I would just
Jeff was
dream about sitting around the campfire and listening to
Jeff was just a great storyteller himself. I always wanted to float the Snake River through Hell's Canyon with him, who was the keeper of the tribal stories, and then my friend who was a river guide,
No,
you
yeah.
know, and had picked up all these stories through time, and then the guy who was the head of the Forest Service archaeology department. And because he had some pretty good stories about the mines and whatnot in Hell's Canyon, and then I had envisioned putting us all on this drift boat and coming down through Hell's Canyon and stopping and telling stories at all these different places, and I had this vision that all these people would get along and whatnot, which I'm not sure would actually happen. And but it was just an idea I had. It never came to pass, but I love thinking about storytellers, and putting them all in a room together. Oh gosh,
there's some amazing storytellers that I've met that they're captivating, and I don't know, I've never felt like I'm really a great storyteller per se, so it's not something I really nurtured. I think the things that I had in my imagination were locked in there for so long. It's only in the last couple of years that I've started to be able to even speak about those things, much less be free to tell them in a story. I'm like just starting to venture into that kind of realm where I could actually try and tell a story. I don't know. I don't feel good at it, but I try. Need to hide. I even keep a singing bowl and a consecrated sword next to my bed. Bringing that bowl will stop orbs right in their path. It makes me smile to see that.
Oh.
We have our things that keep us safe in a spiritual way. I do too. I have my rocks. I have them all over the place in my room and strategically placed, and certain specific rocks at that, and other things that I have around the home. Out in the perimeter of our property, I've collected rocks that I felt were strong, and I put them there. They become almost like pillars for me. When I see them, they just remind me to be strong and go out there every day, and that they're there guarding me. They're like my guardian angels almost. Last pumpkin I had this month.
oh
No, I thought, are you want to read some of these?
I just going through them. I always like the ones like this that are talking about me. I'm pretty self-centered. I did put up the one, orbs can be fun. I got to hold one sometimes, and I didn't want to leave for a couple hours. Time to set limits. So I was just putting these up while you were talking, Laura.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I didn't mean to
And then I saw them and started reading them and stopped talking.
You just keep talking. No, you don't.
I don't know. I run out of time. I thought.
Here, I'm giving you a chance to talk, and
I stopped. Okay, well, what else could I talk
if I'm talking, I can't be reading those, and so I'm the one who gets to throw them up on the screen, and so when you guys are talking, I get a chance to read comments.
Oh,
the hiding at home tonight, that's what I do. I don't have any lights out in front. I don't want the kids to stop. I don't want the candy at my house, because I would eat it. I would fight the kids for it. And I don't need it. I don't need candy. I'm not.
No, it's not good for it to be sitting in our home either. I'll just pick away at it day after day until it's all gone.
Oh my God. I'll tell you what I did this week or last Sunday night after I got done.
Yeah.
I made a frickin' pear pie.
A pear pie.
A pear pie,
Pear
yeah.
pie.
My friend Mary gave me some D'Anjou pears, and so I went to the grocery store and bought a crust. Found my pie pan. I cleaned my pear up, left the skin on it. I didn't peel no damn stinking pear.
You put the skin on in
Oh,
there
it was
too.
perfect. When I put it in my oven, I cooked it, and then it came out, and I cut it into eighths, and oh my stars, it was so good. It would cook just long enough to where
The pulp.
the pears hadn't got all mushy and whatnot. It looked just like an apple pie kind of, and kind of held
With the
enough
skin
of
still on.
the fruit. Oh my God, it was so good. And so, I didn't think. I started inviting one of my friends over, and she kept blowing me off. And finally, I just said, "Shit!" I ate it. I ate the whole damn thing. So I am not buying candy. It took, I just ate the last piece on Thursday. So I did pretty good to make it last 4 or 5 days. But oh my stars!
You have to share the recipe with me.
Yeah.
Oh!
I want to try and make that now. After listening to that,
Sounds
I'm
so
hooked.
good.
Okay, and
I
promise I'll share it with
it's the same
someone.
recipe as on the side of the tapioca box.
Oh, is that where you got it from?
Yeah. I use tapioca as the thickener.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so it's the same thing as on the side of the tapioca box.
There's a recipe
and
for
only you
pear
follow
pie.
the one that had less sugar, because it only had like
Well, I have a sweet tooth. I need lots of sugar.
You don't need it with the pears because they're pretty sweet anyway.
I'm sure it is. Maybe you're right.
And then I put a little Vietnamese cinnamon in it.
Ooh.
Sure.
Yeah,
And,
that would be good.
And oh my God, it was just
What's the
so
difference
great.
between Vietnamese cinnamon? Is that what you called it?
Vietnamese cinnamon and
Never heard of
cinnamon.
Pear pie.
Vietnamese is different.
Oh.
I have the thing that explains all that. It was the cinnamon sprinkle thing that I grabbed.
We have a sugar.
I
We have a little.
I didn't have any idea.
We have a
what
little
the
salt
difference
shaker
was.
with
I didn't-
cinnamon and sugar in it, but I like doing that on toast.
Oh yeah, that's good.
Well, you should try Vietnamese cinnamon on your toast.
I bet you would be good. I'm gonna
Be
try
as good
it.
as the regular cinnamon, or better, or
Mhm.
different. Who's saying what's better and what's just different is good.
I'm always into trying out something, expanding my horizon. In the moment, in this moment in time, I need to keep an open mind and try new things. So
Absolutely. It's time to try something new today.
yeah,
That's what it's time to do.
It's
is
time
to
for
experience
change.
something new today. And I like that. It's always time to try something new, don't you think?
Mhm.
Yeah, totally.
There was, I attend 12-step meetings every once in a while. And one day the topic came up, what if? And I had never talked about my transition and I think this was an NA meeting I was at. And so this what if topic came up, and I said, what if I had never thought to try this? What if, we don't try new things and discover new things? What if, I stay stuck and then I never experience serenity? I never experience honesty. What if? We don't know what's on the other side in a first time experience. It's time to try new things Because what if we don't? What if we never get to experience that tangy new Vietnamese cinnamon flavor?
Mhm.
What if we don't get to experience
I've
our
made
life as authentic beings? What if we don't talk about time and we lose that moment that we spend with a loved one because we haven't talked about it? What if, I mean, there's another show in What If,
Oh,
all
God,
the
yeah.
things
What if?
that come to mind, all the experiences that we did things, and what if we hadn't done that? We have to do all these things to keep growing our journey in time.
I never would have turned around. I never would have noticed those doors that were opening for me. I would have never met you and everybody else in the chat room. What if I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for that?
So Aubrey's talking about Vietnamese cinnamon here.
Use the chili and put
it on
chili
spaghetti
sketty.
with loaves
Are you
of-
talking about, Aubrey? Are you talking about chili sketty? We make that here. Yeah, just make some spaghetti and then put chili on it. That sounds like what
She was talking
of
about
course.
the Vietnamese cinnamon.
Well, we call it chili sketty. It's wonderful. I love
Francie
it.
puts a touch of cinnamon in chili.
I do. Just it's a really strong spice, that chili. So just a little pinch is good. Just like
Cool.
witch's brew, you just put a little pinch in it. It has a big effect.
Hey, bye-bye, Beeble. We'll see you next
bye-bye.
time. Glad you stopped by.
Yes, we're
Take
happy
care,
you were
sweetie.
here with us. Mm-hmm. Well,
Hey, don't just because I'm reading doesn't mean you guys need to stop.
yeah, so
talking.
we all dropped out of the thing for a moment and was reading.
Yeah.
I would
we're
like
getting
you to
close to the end of the show, so let's start wrapping
but I
this
wanted
up,
to hear
kind of.
another quote from Casey. Can you find? Do you have any more, or have we used them all up?
Oh yeah. Oh no, I have.
Good. Okay.
Several.
Well, we got to have one more. Well, we'll let Regina scour the chat room for us, and
one that that kind of ties into what Regina was just talking about. This one in particular is by Oprah. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude.
Oh my stars! Isn't that the truth?
I need to hear it again.
You can change your future by changing your attitude today.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh my God. Yes, absolutely.
Hey, look at this.
Beyond Trans. Oh, hi, Marty.
Hey, sweetheart. How are you doing today? Better, I hope. Oh, I need to put my mask back on for Marty, but
I'm just leaving my costume on just the way it is for the whole rest of the day and the whole night until it's time to retire. So if there's anything else going on for Halloween, I'm going to be ready.
Well, I don't know. Are we...
I'll be serving up Halloween treats to the kids too, so...
Time to get back to my writing. Have fun evening from Ash. Hey, take care, sweetie.
Okay, we'll see you.
Glad you gave us so much to talk about today. And we'll see you next time, Ash. So
I think
take care.
We could squeeze another little quote in, Casey. Come on.
Let's see. What do we got here? This one, it's It didn't give a it
Person.
says anonymous. Yeah, it says anonymous.
It's
on it.
anonymous. Okay.
Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow.
Say that again.
Your future is created by what you do today, not tomorrow.
So that means if we do good today,
Back to
Your future is created by what you did now, not tomorrow.
I love it.
back
Well,
to the
that's what
concept
makes
of-
me pause and think for sure. So I'm going to just stay here in the moment. I'm not going out there. No, I'm staying right here with you all.
Geez.
Uh,
Go.
yeah,
Everything.
sending out hearts to everybody. Big old hearts. Yeah.
So, okay. Well, let's wrap this up then, kids.
Are we running out of time already?
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
God.
1:26.
Yeah.
Been a good
we
show
did.
today. And thank you so much, everyone,
thank
for
you.
participating in our Halloween show. And thank you, too, for dressing up. And Christy, too. Oh, my gosh. Let's not forget Christy.
Yeah. Chrissy was like our guardian angel, dressed up like a beautiful witch.
Oh, like the good witch.
The good
Yeah.
witch.
Yeah.
So thank you so much for watching the chat room, Christy. And thank you all, Gracie. Love to you. Love to Francie. Love to everybody, who's here. If you get a chance to watch this later or you're watching later, hey, leave a comment. We love comments and I will respond. And
I've been going back and looking. Yep.
I hope these other two go back and look as well.
I do.
I'll try.
I know you run out of time. Oh my God.
I'm going to make some time. That's it.
You made it right when we're wrapping it all up. And so good. So good. I just love in the mornings, and I got up so late it was just all I could do to get here on time, but I made it. And I was like way behind on coffee, and now I've still got a shot left.
I need a refill.
Well, that's going to be the first thing I do when I get off of here is refill my coffee cup and eat breakfast and life is good. Love to everyone. Thank you so much for being here, and let's take it out with the outro. Oh, my stars. Hopefully I'll make it out to this area again this afternoon, and I won't go like this because it's cold out. And love to everybody, and take care. Love y'all. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.